Halo, 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 halo. We are live. Oke, jadi selamat pagi ya, selamat pagi. Selamat malam, konbanwa, good evening. Selamat datang di stream. Kali ini aku akan main game yang sudah lama nggak dimainin. Coba lihat galeri. Jadi ini CG yang sudah kita dapatkan. Ya, kita rute cewek rambut hijau ini. Baru dia selesai. Aku maunya selesaikan rutenya Akane juga. Kalau bisa sih semuanya dapat perfect ending. Kalau Akane enggak, yang Midori ini enggak. Oke, kalau nggak salah aku save waktu branching date 2, 9 Agustus 16 Agustus. Terakhir main 16 Agustus. Sebulan lebih nggak main. 2135, 2147, 2114. Hanya ini ya. Mungkin ini branching, let's try loading this one and see if it's a branching option. Okay, I'm making the game screen bigger. Maybe that's better. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I've read this line. She's a nice girl. Okay, I'm gonna read the lines that I haven't read yet. Should I skip? No, I forgot the story, so I don't think I'm gonna skip. This is the Akadet. Taiko. Yeah, we're a foreign guy, okay? This game developer knows his target market. So it's a busy time for them, huh? Okay, got it. Got it, uncle. So still no branching option, huh?
それもあるけど、私も休憩しよう思てな。君は
抹茶ティー？
お抹茶。
Is it really that bitter?
そこまでやないよ。慣れてへんと苦く感じるやろうけど、和菓子の甘さと中和されてちょうどええほろ苦さになるんや。私はな、お茶は人生のようなもんや思てる。人生も最初から甘ないやろ。この抹茶みたいに苦い経験して、それを中和させる方法を見つけて楽しむんや。人生も似たようなもんやないかな。
Quite a bit. Japanese
気長にやる
philosophy,
と言うて
yes.
たけど、君自身も気づかへんほど心に焦りが出てるようやな。今日はせっかくのええ天気なんやから、部屋に閉じこもっとらんと、どこぞ観光にでも出かけてみたらどうや。
Okay, we can go
幸い
sightseeing.
この京都はぎょうさん観光地があるさかい、気になった場所に行ってみたら新しい道開けたりするかもしれへんよ。
That's an interesting
茶道の道
proposal.
には一期一会いう言葉があるんや。一生にただ一度だけ出会うこと。引きこもってたら何者とも出会えへん思うな。
So it's a good advice. So we're gonna go out and have some sightseeing. Okay, killed the cat, huh? There's that kind of phrase, huh?
さっきあかねちゃんが来てたな。ほんでもう一人女性から電話があったんや。確かまどかさん言うてはったな。
Yeah, we just arrived in Japan, but we're suddenly popular with the girls.
一人で出かけるんも寂しいやろうし、どっちか誘ってみるいうのはどうや。
What should I do? Oh. So, previously we invite Madoka and that's how we went to Madoka's route. So now we're gonna go invite Akane. Sorry about that. I'll invite Akane. I wonder if she'll be at Asahiya.
おると思う。君が留守やと分かったら朝日屋に戻る言うてたからな。
She was here, huh? Then I'll go call by Asahiya. I don't think I'll be home that late, but if I'm not going to be back by dinner, I'll give you a call.
そないに気にせんでも大丈夫や。いろいろ見て楽しめる場所はぎょうさんあるから、君もゆっくり観光してくるとええ。
Okay, got it. Ken sees me off with a smile. See you again.
あ、うちさっき右京園に行ったんよ。
She changed. This is her casual wear. As soon as I enter the restaurant, Akane's voice greets me. Yeah, Ken told me. He said you come back to Asahiya, so I thought I'd drop by. Are you busy right now?
大丈夫や。うちの仕事、今日はもう終わってるし。
Oh,
そやから観光でも思って君を誘いに行った。
very good, okay. I see. I was thinking of going sightseeing too and came to ask you.
ほんま？ほな、うちが京都を案内してあげる。どこか行きたい場所とかある？
Somewhere to go? I'm not sure. No, I hadn't really thought of anywhere. If there's anywhere you recommend, then I'd like to go there.
それやったら伏見稲荷とかどう？
What is that?
お寺もええけど、伏見稲荷も外国の人に人気ある場所なんよ。
Fushimi Inari Daisha, huh? That's the place with all the torii gates, right?
そうや。ほな、行こうか。
Okay, let's go. Akane pulls me by the hand, and we set off towards Fushimi Inari Daisha. Whoa! I've seen it in guidebooks, but the real thing is nothing short of a masterpiece. Oh.
そうやろそうやろ。うちも初めて見たときはすごい思ったもん。
Yep, I'm gonna screenshot this. But why are there so many torii here? Don't most other shrines only have one? I know of other famous shrines, and I'm sure they all have just one huge torii gate. Hi Sho, hi to Jess, hello, welcome to the stream. Or perhaps, unbeknownst to me, there are lots of shrines with multiple torii.
この伏見稲荷はな、有料なんやけど、一般の人で 納できるの？
Dedicate their own? What?
確かサイズも5号から10号まであったやろか。もちろん大きくなればなるほど金額も上がってくんやけどな。
Okay, I didn't know about that.
うちが知ってる限りやと他にこういうことができる場所やなんてないと思うから観光に来る人も多いんかもしれへんな。
Huh. So, if I wanted to dedicate a tori, I'd be able to?
多分できるんやない？そやけど珍しさを前面に出してる神社は他にもあるんよ。京都やないけど長崎の山王神社とかな。
That's quite far from Kyoto, right? So, there's a unique shrine like this in Nagasaki too?
うちも見たことはないんやけど一本柱鳥居いうのがあるんやで。地元の人には片足鳥居言われてるそうや。
Tori cuma satu kaki. One leg tori. Huh. How did that look? One leg? Huh. I've never heard of it. I wanna check it out if I ever have the chance to go to Nagasaki. But first, I've gotta go all the sightseeing here.
そうやな。せっかくやからお守り買うてみたら？ここいろんなお守りあるしご利益あるんやて。
My gaze lands on a charm for work. It's just a simple red design, but it's the words on it that attract me.
ああ、仕事守りか。うちもお母さんに買ってもらったことあるよ。成したいことが成就するお守りなんやて。
That's really good to have something like that. So remember to give Rebecca guns and Healy saw the wrong game. That was yesterday. A charm to accomplish my goals. Will it work for me? Even if I don't know what it is I want to accomplish?
何したいかわからへんけど何かしたいいう気持ちはあるんやろ。うちはそれで十分やと思うけどな。 悩める人を救ってくれはるのが神様なのよ。中途半端な気持ちやない。君を見捨てるようなご祭神やない思う。
The god is kind. Akane clasps my hand tightly in hers, encouragingly, as she insists. I get the impression that she's even more fervent about this than me, and I can't help but chuckle.
なんでだろう。うちは真面目に話してんのに。
Her hairpin is kinda cute. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. I mean, it feels like you're taking this even more seriously than me. I laugh because I'm happy. Back in my hometown, none of my friends ever encouraged me like you did just now. Huh, that's really strange. Although, I guess I also didn't really talk to anyone about it. At this, Akane stares intently at me for a moment, then pokes me in the forehead.
おりゃ、あのな、一人で悩んでても何の解決せえへんよ。相談とか恥ずかしいかもしれへんけど、聞くは一時の恥、聞かぬは一生の恥や言うやろ。
That's to us maybe a moment's shame, but not to us maybe an everlasting shame. Wow, that's a really good proverb. Gotta remember that. Is that a Japanese proverb or something?
な、聞くんはちょびっと恥ずかしいだけやけど、聞かんままにしとくとずーっと恥ずかしいまま。簡単に言うとそういう感じ。
That's a really good thing to live by. I'm not quite sure I get it, but I understand what she's trying to say, and I smile vaguely.
日本におる間はうちのこと頼ってや。何もできへんかもしれへんけど、君が一人で悩んでんの嫌やから。
Yeah, got it. If I'm in a bind, I'll come talk to you.
ほんま？ここ 言い張る場所なんやから嘘とかついたらあかんのやでな。
Her little finger. She sticks out her little finger.
約束の指切り。こうやって小指絡めて約束するん。
She takes my hand and almost forcefully entwines her little finger with mine.
指切り玄満嘘ついたら針千本のます指切った。
Oh, 1,000 needles. Huh? I gotta keep my promise then. I was listening to some of that came from Kyoto Tribe. Such a good song. Now I wanna fight. Yeah, I get that vibe when I'm listening to that song too. Kyoto really have a very good, lot of good songs. After shaking our joint hands vigorously a few times, she lets go. You're amazing, Akane. Just seeing you being so energetic makes my worries fade away.
あ、それってうちがバカっぽいってこと？そういうの表でも言わんといてよ。
How come she thinks about it like that? I guess she had someone said that to her before. No, that's not what I meant. I was feeling embarrassed of myself for being so wishy-washy.
悩んだ時あんま暗い顔してると余計に沈んだ気持ちになってまうやろ。どうせすぐには解決せえへん悩みやったらうちは笑うてたい。笑うてたら楽しいこと起こるかもしれへんしな。
I'm glad I came out with Akane today. Her smile and her words are enough to bring me out of my funk. What's a funk? So Japanese have many gods and shrines, and I'm curious about the stories. Yep. I'm not quite sure about the details, but Japanese religions have a lot of gods, and they're not
だ
monotheistic.
から帰らんと。うちも明日の仕込みの手伝いせんとあかへんし。
Thanks for today. I had a great time.
これくらいでええんならいつでも声かけて。うちも君と出かけるん好きやから。
Akane waves goodbye, and I take my leave and make my way back to the ukiyo-en. Okay, it's dark already. Alright, I've definitely gotta find a job tomorrow. I have a little bit of a leeway, but my money is still disappearing. I muttered to myself, trying to dispel the oddly fretful mood I'm in after I'm done sightseeing for the day. Punten, saya ketinggalan berapa abad? Baru sekitar setengah jam, atau mungkin nggak sampai. Barusan mulai kok, baru mulai. Selamat datang ngomong-ngomong, semoga enjoy dengan timnya. Stream maksudku. Glancing down at my cell phone, I see that the light indicating an unread message is flashing. Oh. Huh? A message from mom? I talked about Resident Evil 0 before because that damn puzzle to solve yesterday is still buzzing my head. I can't sleep. Yeah, that puzzle is still puzzling my head too. Still don't know how to solve that puzzle. We're gonna try that next time I stream it. I open up the message and find that it's telling me to come back home soon. Go home, huh? Whether I stay or go, I guess either way it's up to me. What should I do? Do you still remember me? You came to my stream once ago. Once when I stream Tales of Berseria. Ya dulu waktu aku stream Tales of Berseria, kamu pernah datang kan? Saya from Weathercast. I'm not sure what is that. I feel like there are still things I have to do here, but I also have doubts about whether I should stay in a country where I'm a foreigner. Akane, Madoka. No, I can't go home yet. I'm worried about Akane. Where is Ninja Guy? I think he's still being a ninja, so hiding somewhere. There's a kind of sadness behind her cheerful expression. I owe her a lot, and there's no way I can just leave her and go back home. Yeah, oh, berarti betul dong. Selamat datang. I'll drop by Asahiya tomorrow. After murmuring that to myself, I slowly close my eyes. Day 3. Do you remember me too, Sho? You came a lot. You always came in my streams a lot. If I don't remember you, there's something wrong with my head. I head out to look for work. Wow, Kyoto is amazing. Everything's made of wood. How are these wooden buildings still around after hundreds of years? I'm supposed to be looking for recruitment posters, but before I know it, I'm completely entranced by the scenery. Well, I guess that's part of Kyoto's appeal. As I'm walking around thinking about this, my stomach suddenly lets out a loud gurgle. I glance around, sure that someone must have heard the unexpectedly loud sound. But either they didn't hear, or they're pretending not to, as everyone walks on by indifferently. I should eat something. I mutter to myself, then start towards the one restaurant I know. I owe her a lot. Of course you owe her a lot. You eat a lot without paying. We really need to pay our food. We really need to pay this time, I think. Hello. I open the sliding door and lift up the curtain to enter the store, then automatically come to a stop when I notice the strained atmosphere. Inside the restaurants, an elderly man is talking with two younger men in suits. What's going on? The mood here feels tense. The two suited men are looking down on the older man intimidatingly. The elderly man is frowning and saying nothing in response. I should probably just leave. I get the impression that I shouldn't be here right now, so I turn to leave. Turning back around at the sound of my name, I find Akane looking at me in surprise. Yakuza? They could be, or maybe someone else, something else. My first guess is they're from a bank trying to offer some kind of loan or something like that. But if that's the case, it's not gonna be tense like this. Yeah, I was thinking of getting lunch here, but... Okay. Hang on. Ignoring my protest, Akane grabs hold of my arm and drags me out of the building. Okay, we're out. Once we're out of the restaurant, Akane doesn't say a word, but just keeps pulling me along determinedly by the arm. Akane? I call her name hesitantly, but she doesn't seem to hear me and just keeps striding on. Akane?
何？
This time my shout gets through to her and she looks at me in surprise. What do you mean, what? You weren't answering me?
ああ、ごめんごめん。ちょっと考え事をしてた。
She finally comes to a stop. Where are we going?
どこって。
Akane repeats the word back as she looks around us.
そうそう、観光や観光。
Are you sure you're not lost, Akane? I got a feeling you're lost. But
さあ、そうと決まったら、はよ行こうか。
Ignoring my protest, she's just about to start dragging me off again when... Okay, now it's quite loud. Maybe this time police will do something. They're not stalker, right? Ah, yes. They're not stalker, so if they obviously commit something, if they obviously do something harmful, the police will do something. Okay, was that my stomach or Akane? Having overheard the terrifyingly noise my stomach just made, it's my stomach. Akane looks at me with wide eyes. Sorry. She definitely heard that just now. That's why she's looking at me like that. It's not like I can help a physiological response like that, but of course it's still embarrassing. What if she thinks I'm super greedy? Yeah, starts paying. Watashi. I'm not sure if she's aware of all the anxieties running through me, but for some reason, Akane smiles awkwardly.
いやいや、うちも気づかへんくって。そっか。そやからうちの店来てくれはったんやな。
Yeah, of course. You open a restaurant.
まずは腹ごなしからやね。京都でうちの次に美味しいお店に連れてったるよ。
Number 2 restaurant. With a this way, she starts leading me by the arm again. And so I let Akane drag me along to the best restaurant in Kyoto, after Asahiya. Also, she says, after lunch, we skipped the lunch. Okay, so we don't know what restaurant was that. Just skip the lunch scene. After lunch, Akane takes me to one of Kyoto's most famous sightseeing spots.
ここが有名な平等院。その中でも特に有名な鳳凰堂いう建物や。
Byodo-in Temple, huh? Never heard of it. It's pretty awesome, huh? Before us is a perfectly symmetrical scarlet and black building. Ooh, nice CG. Akane is helping competitors. That's unfair. Maybe it's special occasion. Why is it called the Phoenix Hall?
鳳凰いうんは、何やろ。不死鳥？ほら、鳥が翼広げたみたいな形してるやろ。
So they decide the name first and then make the building, or make the building first and then decide the name, huh? Yeah, now that you mention it. So that's why it's red. The two symmetrical wings are reflected in the lake before the building, making them appear even bigger and more majestic. It all makes sense now. And Akane smiles and nods as I gaze at it in admiration. The sight of that expression on her and the vermilion building behind her leaves a deep impression on me. It's like this place reflects her, or maybe like she's meant to be here. There's no trace of the flustered, brooding expression she had worn when we left Asahiya. I haven't known her long. Maybe I misinterpreted that look before.
なあ聞いてるん
Akane shakes my shoulder, interrupting my thoughts. Probably I'm not listening to you. Sorry, I was just thinking.
もうちゃんと聞いてよ説明してるんやから
She's been talking. I see, it's called Phoenix because if you burn the building, it will resurrect stronger than before. Maybe, but please don't try burning it. I apologize hastily then. With a peeved expression, she indicates the hall with her arm and questions me.
なあこの建物どっかで見たことあらへん
I don't think so. Huh? Let's see. I look back at the bird-shaped building. Now that you ask, I do feel like I've seen it before, and recently too. I try to remember where I've seen it before. At least I know I can't have seen the real thing before. This combination of black and vermilion is a rare one, and I'll never forget seeing it. Perhaps it was on a poster at a station or something, but that also doesn't seem right. It's more like I've seen the silhouette before, rather than the actual building.
うっぷー残念時間切れ
There's a time limit? What? You didn't tell me there was a time limit? Yep, that was my reaction too. While it's irrational, for some reason I feel disappointed that I couldn't answer. Well, I guess that's like one of the cute things about girls. While I've been thinking these irrelevant thoughts, Akane has pulled a coin from her wallet.
正解はこれでした
A coin? She shows me a 10 yen coin. Sure enough, embossed on the coin's surface is an image of the building we're currently looking at. Aha! I knew I'd seen it somewhere, so it was here. I take the coin from Akane and examine it closely. Although it's a little dull, I can still make out the many fine lines of the design.
あとな屋根のとこに法皇様がおるやろ
There are phoenixes on the floor, on the roof. Huh? So those decorations are phoenix. You mean those gold statues? Facing one another on each end of the roof of the central building is a sculpture of a phoenix.
そうそうあの法皇様も1万円札に書かれてるんよ
They are drawn at 10,000 yen bill. Wow, that's really awesome. Unlike wood building construction, where I live, there are mostly stone and reinforced concrete-based buildings. Yep, building made of wood have a different atmosphere than those made of concretes and stones and bricks. It's like they're more peaceful and traditional. Huh, really? But when I pulled out my wallet to check, I realized I had left all my lost bills in the safe at the inn. Darn, I don't have a 10,000 yen bill on me right now. That's a shame. Although being here somehow makes me feel like I might get rich.
なんそれそないなこと考えたこともなかったわ
Akane guffaws? Okay, what's that force. I never read that word before. Loudly at my words. However, although I don't know how to explain it, there's something a little off about that laugh. What is it? It's like she's exaggerating somehow. Thinking about it, just now, when I had been in awe of the building, the way she had nodded had seemed over the top. Maybe I'm getting the wrong idea since I haven't exactly known her long, but I feel like maybe Akane is forcing the laugh. If there's something bothering her, I want to offer to listen, but maybe it'd be rude for someone who barely knows her to butt into her business. Should I ask? Should I not ask? Can I save the game? Can I save the game? I can. Okay, yeah. Nope, no, back to Tato's game. Think. Hang on. Let me think for a second. I kind of think it's good. I think we better not ask about it because maybe she doesn't want to bother us with it or something. I think I could prefer Madoka for Akane. It's just a feeling, really. Well, we haven't. Michael hasn't seen Akane for long. Maybe ask. You think it's good to ask? Okay, let's try asking. Akane, is something wrong? The smile disappears from her face, and she looks up at me in surprise. I mean, ever since we left Asahia, you've been acting kind of strangely. If you want to talk to me about it, please feel free to. It might help to get it off your chest. Too late. Too late what? I let her know that she can talk to me anytime, and Akane hangs her head, her eyes fixed on the ground. Until just now, she'd been smiling. I start to worry that maybe I'd been rushed to ask. Then Akane smiles, wiping away that fear. It's not her usual carefree smile, but unlike before, it's natural. Okay. Was that a good sign? I have a feeling that's a good sign. Like, it's a natural smile, not a made up one. So maybe that's a good thing. I follow Akane to the bank of the Kamo River, where it's quieter. The song and the scenery makes me feel like it's a calm place where we can just chill. The white river is shallow, and the banks are dotted with couples sitting together and chatting. I wonder if we look like a couple too. You're getting your hopes up, Michael. As I'm thinking this, Akane sits down on the embankment and motions for me to sit beside her. Yeah, we made the right choice. Maybe. Maybe, yeah. I'm getting a pretty good vibe from that answer. So yeah, I think that's a good choice. Feeling a little awkward, I do as she asks and sit down next to her.
あそこで
Oh.
鴨川を眺めながら料理を楽しんだりするんよ。
She tells me. She points to a small deck protruding out from a building. So there's a small restaurant by the river. Oh, that looks fun. I'd like to eat there sometime too.
夏に涼みながらっていうのもええけど、冬の雪景色を見ながらっていうのも風流やと思うよ。
Elegant?
趣があるやろか。説明するん難しいわ。
Akane falls silent. I'm unsure whether or not I should press her, but in the end, I decide to wait for her to speak. Sometimes, when you decide to talk with someone about something, you don't know where you should start. Back in my hometown, I had the same experience myself many times. I would want to explain something to my friends or family, but I'd end up telling it all wrong because of some weird misinterpretation of nuance. Finally, I would realize that it wasn't getting through, and I'd give up on talking about it at all. I don't want that to happen to Akane. I've never expected my own experiences to be useful here in this foreign country, but now I wait patiently for Akane to speak. It's not until the couple nearest us have stood up and left, and another couple has taken their place, that she opens her mouth.
さっきうちの店におった二人は朝日屋を買収しようとしてるんや。
Trying to acquire. They're trying to buy your restaurant. I hadn't been prepared for the economic lingo, and it takes me a moment to process her meaning. Yeah, if someone talks to me in a Japanese, in a specific topic in Japanese that I still don't know, I'm gonna take a second to to actually process what she means. I'm sorry, I didn't really get that. They're trying to what?
買収や買収。買い取ろうとしてるんや。
They're trying to buy us. Yep. Oh, I see. A buyout. Right. Wait, buy you out? Seriously? Wait, I have to sound surprised at the end. Somehow I laughed. Oh, I see. A buyout. Right. Wait, buy you out? Seriously? I realized that my overly shocked reaction must be strange. You mean some company is trying to take over the restaurant?
ああ、うん。あの人らがしようとしてんのはそうやなくって。なんて言うんやろ。うちの土地を買いたいいうことなんやけど。
Buy the land? Wait, not actually the restaurant? Land? Why do they specifically need Asahiya's land?
なんて言うたらええんか。日本やと地上げ言うんやけど。
And speculation is a big thing.
普通、うちの店みたいな狭い土地買い取っても儲けなんてあんまりないやろ。そうやけど、あの辺一帯の土地を買い占めて広くしたら利用価値も上がるし、土地の値段も上がるやろ。
Okay. I see. I get it. So, they're trying to buy up all the land in the area? Okay, so that's how their business is doing, huh? Maybe they need a lawyer. Asahiya, I don't think Asahiya is a big restaurant. So I don't know if they have their own lawyer or they can afford a lawyer. I'm not sure. Akane nods in confirmation.
かなりなんていう 強引な方法でな嫌がらせとかもしてくるんよ。おかげでお客さんも減ってしもたから、このままやとお店畳んで土地売るしか方法がなくなってまうんよ。
So, wait, what? They're causing problems in her restaurants so that the restaurants would close eventually? What? Isn't that like, isn't that against the law or something? I'm not sure, but I think if you cause a commotion in someone's restaurant, yeah, they can call police on you. She stares out sadly over the flowing river. I heard a bit from Gramps about how, in Japan, children often inherited the family business from generation to generation. Asahiya seems like a family business, so it's probably been passed down through generation of Akane's family. So they'd be having to give up on this restaurant that's been in the family for generations. They buy all the land so they can fix their own price, making the price higher as they want. So that's, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So if you have no competition, you're the one deciding on the price. That's what they're doing. So I think that they don't care how much money they have to spend to buy Asahiya's land. If they own all the land in this area, they can raise the price. Not being Japanese, I don't quite get just how important succeeding a family business is. But I can understand how upsetting it must be for the employees to see an old beloved place to be torn down. That's why I'm shocked by Akane's next words.
そやから君を雇ってあげたかったんやけど、それもできひんくてごめんな。
No, because if we work there, we're gonna get into the trouble as well. Don't worry about that. Right now, you should be thinking about the restaurant first. Despite the situation they're in at Asahiya, Akane's been thinking about whether or not I could work for them. I don't know if this is a Japanese trait or an Akane trait, but I think she's being a bit too kind. I guess that's why she can be taken advantage of by people like those guys in suits. I wish there was something I could do. I mutter unthinkingly, and Akane smiles weakly.
君は優しいな。おおきに。でもこれはうちの問題やから。
She falls silent. I don't know what I should say, so I just gaze out at the river together with her, until finally the sun sets and we both go our separate ways. Akane won't just lose the store, she'll also lose her home. Watching the slowly sinking evening sun, I hurry along the road to the inn. By the time I arrive back at the inn, night has completely fallen. Back in my room, I toss my things onto the table and flop down onto the tatami. Hey, this change in the background music makes my mood suddenly turns 180. I was a bit sad and gloomy about Akane's situation, but now, yeah, the music is cheerful. Not wanting to do much else, I stare up at the ceiling and count the grains in the wood. You do what? Wooden buildings are nice. When you don't feel like doing anything, You can just look up at the ceiling. I'm feeling weirdly moved by this when I hear Ken's voice from outside the sliding door.
おかえりやす。入ってもええか。
Ah, the ninja. Come in. Oh, Ken, sure. Come on in. It's open. Now that I think about it, there's no lock on the sliding paper door, so of course it's open. Ken slides the door open and pats quietly into the room.
お食事は何時頃に持ってきたらええやろか。お食事の前にお風呂入るやろ。ああ、日本やとそうするんやけど。
Oh, just bring it whenever you're not busy. I answer without thinking, not really feeling particularly hungry right now. Oh, maybe that was the worst answer to give. Yeah, what if he's always busy, huh? When are you gonna eat? I remember my mom complaining that anything was a very least helpful response to what do you want to eat. Yeah, mother would complain about stuff like that.
それやったらお言葉に甘えさせてもろて8時頃でええか。他の人もそのくらいの時間やし、片付けまとめてできるから。
Sure, that's fine. I'm quite relieved to hear this. Perhaps he's being attentive of me in his own way.
なんや元気なさそうやけど、どないしはったんや。
Just tired from working around town like all day. Was it really that obvious? I remember Graham saying how sympathetic Japanese people could be. Right. Maybe I should talk to Ken about it. He might have some words of wisdom. Still, I'm not sure if I should really talk about another family's private business, so I choose my words carefully. It's about an acquaintance I made after coming here. The family owns a store, but it seems like someone's trying to buy the land.
あかねちゃんのとこか。
And he knows. Okay, I'm being bad at hiding Akane's identity. Ken-san, teach us Kagebunshin no Jutsu. Kagebunshin is a forbidden jutsu. Okay, it's actually a forbidden jutsu, but somehow everyone in the ninja can do it. I'm not sure why. Japanese people really must be good guessers, as Ken easily figures it out. He goes on.
その話やったら知ってるよ。立ちの悪い地上げ屋が絡んでるらしいな。
A shady land shark, yes. Yeah, seems like it. Hang on, I want to have a drink. Okay. I respond vaguely, realizing that I can't hide anything from this man. I cannot hide anything from this man, despite my efforts. You cannot hide him. You cannot hide anything from someone who can see everything. If Naruto and the others can do it, why not us? We need to master chakra control first before doing any of that. And so, I was wondering if there's anything I can do. Although, I know what I can do is limited since I'm just a traveler who doesn't even know how long he'll be staying here for. Ken folds his arms and hums to himself.
そうやな。あいつらのやり方は強引やさかい、一筋縄ではいかんやろな。
Really? But if they're so pushy, then maybe they're also doing something illicit behind the scenes.
ああ、せやからその後ろぐらいこと探したったらええんや。
No doubt about it, huh? Ken holds up a finger as he explains.
買収の話を持ちかけられてるんは朝日屋だけやね。あの辺りの店も同じや。まずはその店らと協力することやろな。
Of course, there's gonna be a lot of other stores that is target. It's not like forbidden reanimation jutsu. You're right. That was more forbidden, like bringing people from the
無茶
dead.
な買収のやり方やったら、なんや法律に引っかかることもあるやろ。その証拠をみんなで集めるんや。
Yes. I see. I get it. If we can pin a violation of the law on them, then these land shark was it? It'll be harder for them to use coercion. Now it's my turn to fold my arms and ponder. Now it's my turn to fold my arms and ponder.
でも、えらい大変や思うけどな。
Why?
みんな争い事は嫌いやし、もう裏張ったとこもあるそうやからな。
Okay, some people already give up, huh? Detective job. I like that. Is there a detective side story or minigame here? That's gotta be interesting. Let's see. No way. Why didn't they fight it? They have to hand over the very land they live on.
人には人の事情があるんや。もしかしたらお金の問題かもしれへんし、いざ争ういうことになったら時間も取られるしな。
Ken looks down as he speaks. Perhaps he has friends who have already left town. Even so, I believe it's wrong to forcefully buy out land from people who don't want to sell. At least, if Akane's family don't want to sell, I think they should fight it to the bitter end. But if they could team up with the other stores, surely they'd be doing it already. I think it's because my resolve is weak that this thought occurs to me straight away. The worry I have that I might be meddling might at the same time be a manifestation of not wanting to ruin things with Akane, but I shut those feelings away. The worry I have that I might be meddling might at the same time be a manifestation of not wanting to ruin things with Akane. That's a long sentence. Wow, this VN is fully animated. Yep, it's really good. It's really high quality VN. And also, other than the main character, fully voiced. I thank you. You've given me a lot to think about. Ken smiles kindly in response to my half-hearted answer.
そうか、わかった。なんかあったらいつでも相談に乗るさかい。
Just as I'm feeling reassured by all the care Ken has shown towards me, my stomach lets out a gurgle. That's gonna be embarrassing. Crap! That's the second time today people have overheard my stomach.
おお、ええ音が聞こえたな。
Is that a good sound for you, Ken? Ken laughs and my face feels like it's on fire. Gramps, where's the Japanese tag now? Couldn't he have pretended he didn't hear that? Made uncomfortably embarrassed, inside I get irrationally angry at my grandfather.
ご飯先にするか？
No, it's okay. I'll take a bath first.
そうか。ほな、後で。
With a short, okay, later then, Ken leaves the room. Day 4. Hello, Akane. Morning, Akane. Worrying about whether I should tell her about Ken's idea, I skip breakfast and head to Asahiya, where I'm greeted by Akane's cheerful voice. I'm a little taken aback, as I'd be expected to her be down in the dumps again today.
昨日はごめんな。変な話してもって。
You don't need to worry about it. Don't worry, I didn't think it was weird.
おおきに。せやけど、君は気にせんといて。ゆっくり京都を楽しんでや。
Akane says considerately as she shows me to an empty table. Of course, when she's serving customers, she has to keep smiling, no matter how tough things are. Now that I think about it, even when I first met her, she must already have been struggling with the buyout. Working in the service industry sure is rough. I make a silent apology to Akane as she opens up the menu and starts to explain it.
今日は素材が入ったんや。おすすめやから食べてくやろ。
Recommendation, She points to a few of the recommended dishes. What should I do? Should I talk to Akane about it? Let me set the game. Day 4, okay. Wait, Madoka is only 5 days. I thought it was 7. So just cooperating with other stores or eat first? Let's eat first. I don't want to what you call bother her job while we're here. Just working. Well, I'll think about it while I eat. I mean, they might have already tried this approach. You know what? I changed my mind. He has such a weak resolve like that. I'm gonna load this. She might think I'm meddling in her business, but even so, I don't want to see her mourning the loss of her restaurant. She always has to be cheerful no matter what. Jeez, this girl is tough as my velvet. Maybe a real life version of velvet? I mean, she always has a strong heart. Akane, there's something I'd like to talk to you about.
けど、なん急に。
She looks at me in surprise. My tone might have come out a bit over-enthusiastically. Over-enthusiastically. Yep. It's about the buyout. Her expression immediately clouds over. Her expression immediately clouds over just upon hearing those words.
その話はもう気にせんといてって言うたやろ。
She responds with a resolute smile, but I already know she is forcing it. I want her to smile naturally. Is it arrogant to want to help her do that? Well, I talked to Ken about what's going on in this area.
そう。
Akane sighs as she plops herself down in the chair opposite me. I'm sorry for sharing a private matter. I apologized to her, thinking that the sigh had been because I'd gone and spilled her private matters to someone else.
よ。ここらの人は知ってはることやし。
Alright. Of course everyone around here knows. This land shark is trying to buy the entire area. She keeps her gaze fixed on the table, and makes no move to look at me. To look at me. She's not in a good mood, and it definitely isn't just my imagination. Bracing myself before I can lose my nerve, I get to the point. And so we thought that if they're being this pushy, perhaps they're doing something against the law too.
そうやったとしても証拠があらへん。
There's no proof of it, huh? Nobody has proof. But if you cooperated with the other store owner around here, maybe you could get some.
協力？
Why does she seem surprised? Akane looks up at me for the first time.
せやけどそないなことできるんやろか。みんな余計なことに巻き込まれるん嫌やと思ってるかもしれへん。
Maybe not, but you don't want to live here, do you? You don't want to leave here, do you? How does this expression? Maybe not, but you don't want to live here, do you?
まあそれは。
If you don't, then I think you should do everything you possibly can. Don't give up. I want to punch these bad guys in the face. How dare they making sorry, I mean Akane and her family suffer like that. Well, they are land sharks. It's kinda in the job description somehow. But yeah, there should be. We should do something about it. Punch, kick, whatever. Doing nothing won't change anything. If instead of fighting until the end, it's over without you doing anything, you'll regret it after. And I don't want Akane to have any regrets. I add that part silently, maybe because this isn't my mother tongue. I get the feeling it would cause misunderstandings if I said as much to her. What kind of misunderstanding, huh? I'm sure nothing bad will come out of it. Did she just smile? Akane considers this for a while, until she finally sets her mouth in a grim line of resolution. That's it, Akane, that's it. How about Therian, Claw, and Magna Ray on them? What about Rangetsu style? Rangetsu kata number 0. Rangetsu style. We're gonna bring Rangetsu style on them. Her smile as she says it looks brighter and more real than anything I've seen on her up until now. Yeah, I'll help too. While I'm wondering if I was indeed right about her previous smiles being fake, Akane turns back at the menu.
そうと決まったらまずは朝ごはんや。日本やと昔からこういうん腹が減っては戦はできぬ。
Cannot fight on an empty stomach, yes. That's true. Thinking that there's some truth to that, I decide on Akane's recommendations. Okay. Hang on, I want to have a drink. Yeah, I forgot about that. Youngest style final judgment. Yep, we're gonna make them suffer. Oh, did you hear that? That was a notification. Sorry about that. Akane and I exit Asahia and decide to launch our campaign on the neighborhood right from the front door. What? First, we go to the kimono shop opposite, and Akane calls out to the woman in the front.
こんにちは。あれ、あかねちゃん、
Ah,
どうしはったん？
nice CG. It's really beautiful, huh? The woman seems to know Akane as she gives her a friendly smile. Yeah, forgot about that one.
ちょっと話があって、今ええかな？ええけど、なんやの？
The Japanese, well, it's a Kansai dialect, so the Japanese is a bit different. So I kind of have to, what you call it? Rethink. I mean, I notice everything that's a little bit off than the usual Japanese. Like usually they say "I kedo," but just now they said "e kedo," not "I" but "e." Okay. Yeah, I hear that. No problem about that. Yep, it's good that we agreed on that.
買収のことなんやけど。
The woman's expression changes the moment she hears those words. Looks like it's true that this whole area is being targeted. Dialect, yes, the dialect. That's what I was looking for. I might not have been in Kyoto long, but there's one thing I've learned. The city is not as big as it seems. You mean that? Yep. That was just an example of what I recognize. Like Kansai dialect is like a total different. Yes, well, it's a different dialect. It's a different dialect than the common Japanese that they use in Tokyo. So there are differences, but sometimes the differences is a bit too big that I cannot immediately understand the Japanese they're talking, even though I already learned Japanese. I'm not talking about the land size, but rather the closeness of the local residents. Ken knew about the buyout too, so maybe it's already well known throughout the city.
ああ、そのこと。あの二人がどうしたん？うん。買収のことで一緒に協力できへんかと思って。協力やて？
The woman blinks, staring at Nakane as though she's gone mad.
そうや。みんなであの地上げ屋に対抗するんよ。そないなことを言うたかって。一体どないするつもりなん？
The woman's face creases into a troubled frown.
みんな嫌がらせ受けてはるやろ。せやからその証拠を集めるん。絶対法律に引っかかることしてると思うんや。
Well, they are land sharks, so it's not surprising they do something against the law.
その尻尾捕まえれたらなんとかできるんやないかと思うんや。
The woman looks like she's pondering Akane's desperate appeal. However, she finally shakes her head apologetically.
せっかくやけど、それはできひんわ。
Why not? People have their reasons. I recall Ken's words. Still, I have no idea what kind of reasons could make it better for someone to give up.
なんでやの？
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's tell us. Akane seems to be thinking the same thing, as she presses the woman for an explanation.
裁判とかになるんやろ。そないなことになったらうちの店の信用がもっと落ちてまう。
Why would that make it worse? Don't you have something like proof of ownership of your store?
信用なくしてまうより移転してやり直した方がええわ。せやから協力はできへん。あかねちゃん、堪忍な。
It's better to move and start over somewhere else, huh? Her quiet tone is apologetic. What she's saying is true. Business owners want to avoid going to court at all costs. Ah, that makes sense. They don't want a bad reputation on their business. I think we need Alvin in the city. You know, freedom stuff. Yeah, Alvin, we need to punch some freedom into them. I can understand it logically, but at the same time, I don't want to accept it. I'm sure it would be a hard blow to a trader, but why do the ones who had the right from the start have to give it up? Maybe it's because I'm still young that I can think like this. When I look over to Akane, her head is hanging in disappointment. Perhaps she's thinking of how she can persuade the woman. Akane, however, when she raises her head, there is an unexpected smile on her face.
せやな、わかった。お邪魔してもうてすんまへん。
Huh? Akane? I say her name without thinking, not understand why she is backing off so easily. I wonder if she has some other tactic.
行こうか。
With a brief bow to the woman, Akane hurries away from the store without any explanation. Akane! As soon as we left the store, I call out to her, wanting to know the reason behind her strange behavior. Akane, what are you planning to do? Are you sure about just giving up on her? Akane had been smiling, but upon hearing my question, she looks down at the ground. I like that trait of Alphen. I always wanted to be like that. Yep, that's something to look up to, right? Doing something because you want to do it. Freedom rather than being chained.
どうって悔しいけど、おばさんのとこは諦めるしかあらへんわ。
So there's nothing you can do to persuade her, huh? Does that mean you're not going to do anything?
しょうがない。人には人の事情があるんやから。
People have their reasons, huh? Ken said that too. Maybe that's people's way of thinking around here, huh? That phrase again. I can understand how she can go out of her way to sympathize with other people's reasons when she's experiencing such hard times herself. I get that people will have their reasons, but surely, now that we've decided to do this, surely we should persevere.
ま、最初からうまくはいかへんよ。次行こう、次。
She stretches as though casting off her gloomy thoughts, then sets off for the next store. After that, we go down store after store, but everyone is just as reluctant, and we don't get the responses we want. Huh. That's worse than I expected. I thought we could get someone to participate. Some don't want any more harassment. Others don't want us causing problems. All of it only serves to annoy me.
やっぱりなかなか集まれへんな。
Akane, why aren't you more persistent? If you could just persuade them, they might help.
そやけどみんなの言うこともわかるからな。
Michael's way of thinking is kinda different than Akane. I can't help thinking, not this again. People have their reasons. As we'd gone around the stores, Ken's words had dogged us like a curse. A bit of elfin and a bit of velvet, unchained birds that fight for their freedom to fly in the skies for only themselves and no one else. Yeah, that's really cool, huh? Like you have control over what you want to do and how you want to do it. That's really cool. And just now, Akane said she knew it wouldn't work. The fact that both Ken and Akane had predicted this would happen makes me think this isn't a problem with Akane, but a Japanese trait. This tendency to put other people's needs first, no matter how much trouble you're in, and endeavoring not to cause them trouble, rather than persuading them to help you. Yeah, that's like the Japanese way of thinking, Eastern way of thinking like that. They're thinking about the community as a whole, not just one person, huh? But if we give up now, there's no way we'll be able to get the solidarity we need.
別に諦めたわけやない。もう少しゆっくり時間かけて説得したいだけや。
But do we have that time? You'll still be harassed, right? You'll be losing customers the whole time.
まあ、そうなんやけど。あんまり無理言うて誘ったら余計協力してくれんくなるかもしれへんし。
I'm sure that possibility is not unlikely. Yeah, maybe if you do it too hard, then they won't help at all. That is also a thing that might happen. Taking into account these people's dispositions, I try to come up with a good way to persuade them, but nothing comes to mind.
まあ、ゆっくり説得してこ。もしもん時は、そん時はそん時や。
Okay. With those final words, we walk back through the evening streets towards Asahiya in silence. We're back. Other people's needs first. I think Lord Artorius would like this city. Yeah, it's like his ideal world, but they still have their free will. By the time we arrive back at the restaurant, dusk has descended.
とりあえず、なんか食べようか。ほら、座ろう。
Both Akane and I are fatigued after rushing around the place all day with no lunch, coupled with little payoff for our efforts. I'm about to sit down at the table Akane shows me to when I notice that a man is already sitting there.
お父さん？何してはるん？明かりもつけへんと。
The lights off, huh? That's true.
あかね、おかえり。
Akane's father is sitting inside the deserted restaurant, gazing vacantly at the empty table.
うん。
ちらさんは
I respond as politely as possible to his question. I'm Michael. Nice to meet you.
はじめまして。茜の父の若宮大吾を言います。
He bows courteously, and I return the gesture. Since coming to Japan, bowing has quickly become natural for me. I'm probably thinking such frivolous thoughts to escape from the reality that we're not faring well. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself earlier, Mr. Wakamiya.
若いのにしっかりしてあるな。いや、挨拶が遅れたんはわしも同じや。それと、わしのことは大吾で。
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Daigo. Daigo responds with a smile. However, just like when Akane is forcing herself to smile, it seems to me that there's a shadow behind that expression. After getting introductions out of the way, Daigo turns to Akane with a grim look on his face.
茜、なんや近所の店でいろいろ聞いて回ってたらしいやないか。
お父さんは早耳やな。
ごまかさんと、ほんまのこと言いや。
Akane seems to shrink slightly from his sharp tone.
うちにもなんやできることあらへんかと思って。近所の人と協力して買収されんようできひんか思ったんや。
そうやったんか。そうか。
Daigo mutters to himself and looks down at the floor as though ruminating over Akane's words.
茜、もうええ。もうそないなことはやめ。
Stop it, huh? Daigo looks up into her daughter's eyes and commands her.
なんでやの？
茜、余計なことすると、あの二人がお前に何やしてくるかもしれへん。お前を危険な目に遭わせるわけにはいかへんのや。
彼が一緒やから大丈夫や。いざとなったら逃げるし、土地勘はこっちの方があるんやから大丈夫や。
旅行に来てはる人を巻き込むんやない。それに
He drops his gaze back down to the floor. A bad feeling grows in me as I wait for his next words.
それに何？
Akane passes him impatiently, and with a sigh, Daigo forces out his answer.
店を売ることにした。
You decided to sell it? What the heck? What the crap? Boy? Why you deciding to sell it, huh? Old man. You can hear the disappointment in Akane's voice. I can hear it.
この店を売る。
His words slowly sink into my brain, like water being absorbed by a sponge. They're shocking, and I don't want to comprehend them.
それ本気やの？
Akane's brain also seems to have finally caught up as she lashes out at her father.
本気や。
Daigo's fists are clenched so hard they're shaking as he answers that, yes, he is indeed serious. He's making all our efforts in vain? Yeah, he did. He just did. He just decided to sell his restaurant to the land shark. He just decided to give up and go away.
そんなん嫌や。
Akane spins on her heel and dashes out of the restaurant. Akane! I still want to hear more, but I chase after Akane. I know where Akane is as soon as I'm out of the store. That's because she's shouting in a voice way above the level of noise you usually hear in this quiet area of Kyoto.
お願いです。協力してください。
そないなこと言われてもな。
The store owner responds vaguely, looking troubled.
皆さんで力を合わさはったら絶対になんとかできます。せやからお願いします。
Damn. Akane faces the silent store owner tenaciously, but their responses are less than stellar. Akane really doesn't want her restaurant, her family's restaurant, to be gone.
もう店じまいやさかい、堪忍な。
Making the excuses, they hurry back inside the shops.
待ってください。
Akane shouts in vain as they close their doors on her. Holy crap. Akane bites her lip in frustration. Aka,
もう時間がないんや。
just as I'm about to say her name, Akane mutters to herself. Then her head snaps up and she makes a beeline for the next store without a single backward glance. She's so determined not to sell the store. My gaze follows her small figure as she flits from one side of the street to the other. Despite the frustrations I had, she's trying far harder than I did back in my home country. I gaze up at the sky as I think back on myself before I came to Japan. Although it's nighttime, the high summer sky above me is still faintly light. Is there anything I can do? Back in my hometown, I probably wouldn't even have considered trying to help. I don't know whether it's Kyoto's charm or Akane's that's making me think this way. I can. Of course we're gonna help, huh? I think she has got speed mode now. Yeah, she's really desperate not to lose her store, her home, and probably her childhood memory. I don't need to think about this, of course. I'm gonna help. Whatever I can. Is there anything I can help with? I try to think if there's any way I can mobilize the experiences of my short life so far to help. Having said that, all I've ever done is study. Study? I think back on my time in my hometown. What had I studied so hard at university? What was my selling point when I was job hunting? Akane! The moment I realized that there is, in fact, something I can do, I chase after Akane.
いきなりなんや思えばそないな無茶言わはらん方がええ。
Do you really think your daughter is really gonna stop just because you tell her to stop, huh? This is Daigo's response when Akane and I asked him to show us the restaurant's account books.
そもそも君は旅行に来はっただけやろ。余計なことに首突っ込まんといてくれまへんか。
Well, he's right. Of course he wouldn't show the accounts to just anyone, let alone someone just passing through. His answer is understandable, but I persevere and try to persuade him. I really want to save Asa here. I studied economics back in my home country. Perhaps there's somewhere you could be cutting back.
簡単にははるけど、これはそない単純な話やおまへん。そもそも帳簿なんて見せられるわけないやろ。
Yeah, of course. Of course, they're not gonna show us the account books. It's their business. Hang on, I wanna have a drink. Even if you're keeping the accounts properly, there's sure to be some waste somewhere. That's what I'm trying to look for. If I can find it, you might be able to recover financially.
そらそうかもしれへんな。せやけど、必要としてまで経費削減するいうんはうちのやり方やない。
That's really cool. Even though you want to cut costs, you don't want to cut down the quality. Then please, let me know what areas can't be touched. I'll look for other places where costs can be shaved. So please, show me the accounts.
あかん。そないな問題やないんや。
Daigo stubbornly refuses to show us the restaurant's account books.
お父さん、そないなこと言うてる場合とちゃうよ。亡くなってしもたら全部終わりなんやで。
そないなことを分かってる。
じゃあ彼に帳簿見せてあげてや。ダメ元で何でもやってみたらええと違う？
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to give up already, why not just show me the accounts before you finally give up, huh? You have nothing to lose.
それとこれとは別の問題や。帳簿なんか従業員にもそない簡単に見せられるもんやない。
Huh. That's actually right. Daigo, I know that it's unusual. Daigo, I know that it's an unreasonable thing for me to ask when I'm just a random guy here on vacation. But I really love Kyoto and Asahia. I don't want it to disappear like this. So please, show me the accounts. Besides me, Akane lowers herself in a deep bow to her father.
うちからもお願い。お父さん、見せてあげて。
I follow Akane's lead and bow to Daigo. Can we persuade him? Daigo knits his brows for a moment, deep in thought. As the silence stretches on my waist starts to ache. Okay, I did this one. As the silence stretches on, my waist starts to ache from holding the position, and I almost lift my head. But seeing Akane maintaining her bow, I decide that wouldn't be wise, and give my protesting muscles a mental slap. Yeah, just hang on that bowing position for a little bit longer. Reverse card open, accountability activation. Yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! If only he activated our trap card.
わしの負けや。勝負見せたる。
Okay, we can see it. Akane's head pops up at her father's words.
お父さん、ありがとう。
Then she bows to him again. I copy her again with a very obviously clumsy bow.
その代わり、やるからには安城決まってや。
Yep, we're going to give it our best. With that, Daigo heads into the back of the store to retrieve the account books.
ありがとう。
No, this is all I can really do. Akane clasps hold of both my hands and shakes them up and down so hard I swear I hear my bones rattle. It's still no more than a faint hope, but seeing Akane smile makes me glad there's something I can do to help. Ah, that's good, Michael. Now that I think about it, this is the first time I've been glad I went to university. Yeah, when your dad told you that going to university is gonna be good for your future, he's telling the truth. When Daigo finally returns with the account books, Akane dashes back out of the store to talk with the neighbors one more time. Day 5. So we pull an all-nighter for that. A bright light filters through my closed eyelids and I crack them open. Oh, I must have fallen asleep. Ow! Somehow, I had fallen asleep face down across the desk. Even though not much time has passed, my sore shoulders and back protest painfully. My sore shoulders and back protest painfully at not having been given a nice soft futon. Something on the table can be like that, yes. As I take in a lungful of morning air and loosen my stiff body, I gradually become more awake. Oh, Akane. As I'm stretching, I notice Akane beside me and almost let out a shout. But realizing that her eyes are closed and her breathing regular, I manage to stifle my cry before it escapes. She must have been exhausted. She was out running around the neighborhood until late at night. I settled back down quietly so as not to wake her. From time to time, her long eyelashes flutter, and each time my pulse pitter-patters as I wonder if she is waking up. You should do voice acting. You're good. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Well, I'm interested in voice acting actually, but not sure how to do that professionally. As I watch her peaceful face, I find myself thinking that I hope she can continue to wear that expression. I hope we can find a way to stop the buyout, but anyway, I feel kinda guilty staring at her like this. For the time being, I decide to go wash my face, but that's when I realize that there's a problem. I'm trapped. What do you mean trapped, huh? Since I'm by the wall and Akane is sleeping at the corner of the desk nearest at the corridor, there's no way I can get past her. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen in a restaurant when you're sitting in a desk on a chair beside the wall, and your friend is on the other chair next to you. You cannot get out. I can't exactly crawl under the table, can I? No, there's a girl sleeping beside you. Don't crawl under the table. Do not. While I'm fretting over what to do, Akane stares, then sits up.
あれ、うち眠ってしもてた。
She rubs at her still half-closed eyes. Yeah. I won't tell her I've been watching her sleep.
そう。起こしてくれたらええのに。
She doesn't seem suspicious of me and gets to her feet and gives a big stretch.
まだ目が覚めてへんみたいやから顔洗ってくるわ。
She totters out of the room, her hand over her mouth to stifle a small yawn. After we've both freshened up, Akane prepares breakfast for us. On the table is white rice and steaming miso soup, as well as a selection of accompaniments in small dishes. Accompaniments, huh? That's a new word. Does that mean smaller smaller dishes, smaller foods? A selection of accompaniments, huh? This looks delicious.
うちの店の自慢の料理やから。まあ、その代わりお代はタコをつきますけどな。
Okay, I'll pay this time. Huh? How much? I exclaim in surprise and Akane waves her hand, grinning impishly.
冗談や冗談。君には力になってもらってるし、お代のことは気にせんと食べてや。
Woo. So we pay this with our labor, huh?
それに、ほんまは売れ残りやし。
Oh, leftovers? Her expression darkens. What about the account book? Yeah, the game hasn't said anything about it. We pulled an all-nighter about it, right? Right? Any restaurants has leftovers, but with their customers dropping off, it must weigh even more heavily on Akane. Okay, thanks. You should eat too.
うちもいただくわ。いただきます。
Akane sits down opposite me, puts her hands together with an itadakimasu, and then picks up her chopsticks. Itadakimasu. Thinking that this must be some kind of prayer for before meals, I imitate her, then also pick up my chopsticks.
あ、お箸の使い方違ってる。
How is it wrong? After that, she spends a long time instructing me on the correct usage of chopsticks. First time, Michael? Just when, after much effort, I finally finished my breakfast, Daigo appears. Good morning. I'm really sorry, but I kind of fell asleep here yesterday.
知っとるさかい、気にせんでもええ。うちのために頑張ってくれてたんやろ。
Hang on, I want to have a drink. He cuts me off with a wave of his hand and smiles at me.
お父さん、どないしたん？
Akane, who's been gathering up the dishes, calls out to her father.
いや、そろそろ来る頃やな思って。
At almost the exact same time as he says this, there comes a violent knocking from the front of the store. Ooh, somehow. What? I don't know how to eat with chopsticks. Shame on me. It's really hard to use if you never tried it, so it's understandable that it's hard. Well, I need to practice how to use it too.
朝からなんやの？
Frowning, Akane gets to her feet and looks towards the entrance. Without a word, Daigo goes over to the door and opens it. Ooh. No sooner has he done so than the two men force their way inside. These guys are the land sharks. Huh, it's not surprising, huh? I can feel the air turn colder at this sudden intrusion. Akane also looks shocked for a moment, but then she glares at the man.
葵さん、こない朝早うからどないしはりましたか？
Daigo is perfectly calm as he deals with the two men. Mr. Aoi squares his shoulders then cuts past Daigo to throw himself into a chair.
なんやこの店は。客に茶も出さへんのか。
They're here outside of business hours, so it's not like they're customers. Yet, Daigo turns to Akane and asks her to bring tea.
そやけど。
ええから。
He orders Akane in a slightly forceful tone, then sits down opposite the man he'd called Mr. Aoi. Which one, the left one or the right one, huh? Mr. Aoi, who had been smirking at Daigo and his daughter's exchange, finally notices me and points a finger at me.
あれ？あんた誰や？
お嬢さんの彼氏やないですか？
The other man, who's standing beside Mr. Aoi and gazing at the sheaf of documents, responds disinterestedly.
こいつはこれで彼氏さんのうちに厄介になったらここに残る必要もないわけや。
What the hell are you talking about now? She's not staying with me. He spreads his arms exaggeratedly, then brings his hands down on the table with a bang and leans towards me.
彼氏さん、私は青井克也言います。こっちは弟の拓也。
The text is
週お見知りおきよ。
the text is the same as the last one. Yeah. The game bugs a little, huh? Katsuya holds his hand out for a handshake. I want to tell him that I'm not Akane's boyfriend and I don't feel like shaking hands with the likes of him, but instead I meekly hold out my hand. Even if he's the enemy, if I don't keep to a minimum of manners here, it could come back to hurt me.
それで葵さん、今日は何の用件でしたやろか？
の件でお話しさせてもらおう思いましてな。この頃経営も厳しいんやおまへんか？そろそろ諦めはったらどないです？
うちが調べたとこ、一番ええ頃の半分も客がおらはらへんようですな。このままやと時間の問題やないですか。
I wonder why we have less than customers than usual, huh? Maybe because there's someone bothering us, huh? I'm not sure.
それはあんたらが。
Daigo stops himself from finishing what he started to say. But the Aoi brothers don't seem inclined to overlook it.
私らが何やした言うんですか？これは侵害ですな。なあ、タク。
根も葉もないこと言うて、私らの名誉を傷つけんといてもらいたいんですな。
What do you mean groundless accusations? Kazuya bears down on Daigo threateningly, while Takuya provides a calm follow-up. I see. So this is how they pressure people. So they're acting as if they are honest customers, and if Daiko and Akane do even a little bit of something that's bothering them, they're gonna act like they they're gonna act like a customer that's gonna give you a 1-star rating. And on top of that, it's 2 against 1. It's inevitable that he'll eventually bow under the pressure. Everything I said, I was nothing more than an outsider running my mouth off. When I'd been going around the neighborhood with Akane, I would feel resentment towards the locals for being unwilling to fight to the bitter end. But seeing the force of these men now, I understand. They had no choice but to leave to get away from their threats. That's how much power these men have.
もう打つ手は荒らしまへんのやろ。今やったらまだええ条件で買い取らせてもらいます。
条件そないな問題やない。
Akane snaps at them as she returns with the tea.
うちは代々誇りを持ってここで商売してんのや。それを何やと思って。
威勢のええこと言うてるけど、この店も閑古鳥が鳴いてるやないか。こんな状況から立て直せるとは思えまへんけどな。
How can you say that? Do you have a degree in economics, huh?
経営のことやったら心配やらしまへん。
Oh, Daigo saying something good. Daigo, who's been listening to the exchange silently, speaks up clearly as he brings out the account books I had been looking through.
この後に及んで負け惜しみですか？
Dang, 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 dang. The music, the BGM is now like a battle music. Fear can get a man on his knees. Yep, that's how these land sharks do their business, to give fear to people. Katsuya snickers, still looking completely at ease. There are no issues with Asahiya's finances. I took another look at our accounts. As I pored over the accounts until morning, I made notes on where expenses could be cut, as well as ideas on management strategy. Since I had majored in economics, my main focus had been on gross profit, but I'd also thought about strategies from a point of view of a foreign visitor. Morning had already broken by the time I'd finished reporting to Daiko, but
よそ者に何がわかる言うんや。でたらめもええ加減にしや。
his Japanese is really different than what I usually hear.
でたらめやあらへん。彼は経済学の専門家なんや。その彼がこの店は大丈夫や言うたんや。せやから朝日屋は絶対に潰れへん。
That's how you say it, Akane. To be more accurate, I just studied economics at university, so calling me an expert is an exaggeration. But since putting it this way might be more effective, I decide not to protest. I can hear shamisen. I like that instrument. Yeah, that calm Japanese music from shamisen is really pleasing to the ears. Daigo nods enthusiastically in agreement with her words. I like these two, this father-daughter pair. Feeling my chest growing warm at the display of trust from them both, I take a deep breath, turn to the Aoi brothers, and start to explain. Asahiya has absolutely no problems with their financial management. In fact, I think they'll continue to grow from here on out. They have no debt, and due to their reliable management thus far and the trust they have, I'm sure they would have no problems securing a large amount of financing if necessary. I do wonder if I'm going a bit over the top. But it's okay. I haven't said anything wrong so far, and I'm not telling any lies. Putting aside whether or not they could get financing, it's no lie that I think the business will continue to grow. Yep. You still need to talk to a bank and bring your reports, all of them. And then the bank will gonna consider whether or not you're worth your financing. I would like to have a girl treating me like that, yes. That'd be really, really good. Like what you call it in English, really makes you happy. Like she have so much trust in you. This is an extremely fortunate location. It has easy access to sightseeing spots and is close to a bunch of inns. That's why you're trying to buy it up, isn't it?
なんやと
So that one is Katsuya. As they listen, the two men's expressions are turning grimmer, giving me confidence that I've hit the nail on the head. That's why you were trying to get your hands on it no matter what, even if you had to resort to harassment. Am I wrong?
私らが嫌がらせしたやで。言いがかりもええ加減にしてくれまへんか？
Takuya opens his mouth after silently listening to the exchange.
私らが嫌がらせしたいう証拠はあるんですやろ。証拠があらしまへんのやったら、名誉毀損で法的措置も検討させてもらわんといきまへんな。
So that's the strategy. Yep, that's what I said earlier. They're gonna give us 1 star for a little bit of mistake.
証拠ならある。
We have? Akane goes to the back of the restaurant and returns a moment later, holding a paper bag.
他の店の人に協力してもろて、あんたらのやってきた嫌がらせの証拠集めてきたんよ。
So that's a result of her running into the night last night. She tips the contents of the bag out onto the table. Photo stills from security camera footage and tapes of recorded conversations spill out. Takuya spares them a glance, then gives a snort of laughter.
言うても、画像なんかも不鮮明でようわかりまへんし、証拠としてどこまで有効なもんなんかわかりまへんな。
そうやとしても、この量は異常や。ご近所さんも証言してくれはる言うてくれてるし、出るとこ出たら、そっちも無傷では済まへん思うけどな。
Yeah, this might be a tough battle, but we're gonna make you cry.
なんやとこのガキ。黙って聞いとったら調子に乗りよって。
He's been comparatively calm until now, but now Takuya's tone takes a harsh turn.
悪や
Perhaps sensing the danger, Katsuya tries to restrain his brother, but Takuya doesn't seem to hear him and shows no sign of backing off.
今まで手加減しとったけど、もう我慢できひんわ。こうなったら、とことんやったろうやないか。本気になったらこないな店、簡単にひねり潰せるんや。もっと客が来んようにしたる。営業もできんようにしたるでな。悪や。
Katsuya tugs on his brother's arm, his tone urgent. The two men's angry shouts reverberate through the store, no doubt also audible from outside. Thinking about it, it's about time for the stores around here to be opening. I hope no customers overhear this. Perhaps I'm thinking this way because the moment we've been waiting for has arrived, and I'm able to relax slightly. Right, we've been waiting for the moment when the Aoi brothers start threatening us.
今言わはった言葉、脅しやな。これって警察に出したらどないなるんやろ。
With a smirk, Akane pulls out the smartphone which had been stuck in the sash of her kimono. Ah, so she has prepared it beforehand and recorded everything.
さっきの録音させてもろたで。
Smart girl. Last night, while I had been poring over the accounts, Akane had gone around the neighboring stores and sought their cooperation. Although she'd been able to gather evidence from each place, we weren't experts on the law and had been unsure whether or not it would count as decisive proof. And so, we'd come up with the strategy that if we had no proof, we'd have to make some. Like they said, the images here are pretty blurry. And take a look at the photos Takuya had dismissed. Since each store is privately managed, their security measures are somewhat lacking. Katsuya, who hadn't been able to prevent his younger brother's outbursts, is looking down with his head in his hands. But Takuya doesn't seem to understand the situation, or at least doesn't want to accept it. As he bears down on Akane, he what?
そんなもん証拠になるか。悪や、おえ。
Katsuya grabs hold of his enraged brother's arm and gets to his feet. He glares at Takuya and silence falls. After a moment, Katsuya turns to Daigo and speaks in a low voice.
今日のとこは引き下がらせてもらう。楽や、行くで。
兄ちゃん。
ええから、あよしや。
With that, Katsuya hurries out of the store without a backward glance. Takuya still doesn't seem to have fully grasped the situation as he obediently follows after his brother. Yep. Ha ha ha. I think we have enough proof now. After the Aoi brothers have left, Akane lets out a shriek of joy. What? Akane suddenly flings her arms around me, almost sending me toppling to the ground before I manage to brace myself. No, I didn't really do anything. That was close. It'd be totally uncool if she was able to knock me to the ground. You almost knocked Michael, huh? I make excuses to myself to gloss over the fact that Akane's close proximity has set my pulse racing. A hug is no big deal, but as a Japanese person, Akane seems unused to hugging, and she's pressing so close that it could hardly be called just friendly. She's so close she might even feel my heart racing. Thinking of that just serves to make it pound all the harder. If I try not to think about it, it ends up being the only thing I can think of. The human heart is a complete misery. As I'm trying to reframe my own personal issue into a problem of human nature, Akane speaks in a tiny voice, barely above a whisper. Don't cry, Akane. Wait, if it's a happy cry, please cry. Hearing this tone that I usually never expect to hear from her, I finally realize that she's trembling. Right, all the tension must have finally left her too. With this tiny body of hers, Akane had fought her hardest to protect Asahia. There's no job. The pressure she's been feeling was incomparable. There's no job that the pressure she'd been feeling was incomparably greater than mine. I wrapped my arms around the shaking Akane. Akane, it's okay now. They've gone. She just nods, as though hanging onto my words. This two kind of forgot Taiko is here. Crap! Taiko was here all along. Realizing this, I pulled away rather forcefully from Akane, who stuck to me like a magnet. Okay, Michael is so brave. He's even scarier than the Aoi brothers. Feeling a murderous intent emanating from Daiko. Okay, it's hard to not laugh. Feeling a murderous intent emanating from Daiko, I hurriedly changed the subject. What happens now?
こっちが証拠を握ったさかい、向こうも今までみたいに嫌がらせもできひんやろ。
うち証拠取ったことみんなに教えてくれ。そしたら今度こそ一緒に戦ってくれるかもしれへん。
Akane must also be feeling extremely awkward as she dashes outside right after announcing this. Akane, wait, I'll help. I chase after Akane as though fleeing from Daiko's death glare.
ほんま？心強いわ。
Akane looks back and smiles at me. I've seen her smile many times before, but I'm sure that this is the first time I've seen her smile from the heart. I'm scared now. Is Dago the true final boss? I'm scared of that too. He could probably kill us without even moving a finger. Several years later, huh? It's already time skipped several years, huh?
その花はあっちに飾ってくれへん？そっちの方がお客さんから見て綺麗やから。
The staff member puts the flowers in the place Akane had instructed. It's good to see that the restaurant is still doing well after several years. Huh? Over there? Won't they get in the way? As I move past the flowers, their leaves brush against my shoulder. It's not like they're really in the way, but it might get annoying brushing past them every time.
それもそうやな。ほな、そっちに置いてや。
Akane immediately indicates another place, and the staff member moves the flowers accordingly. Far removed from the relaxed daytime mood, Asahiya is all hustle and bustle when we're getting ready to open in the morning. If they saw it like this, I'm sure our customers would get a shock. Well, this isn't a sight we can show to the customers. Manager? Is Akane the manager now? As I'm thinking about this, a female employee calls out a greeting to me. To me? Good morning. Could you please stop calling me that? I'm still not used to it. So that's what we do here now, huh? Well, with our economics background, that's really making use of our power. It seems that being called Mr. Manager identifies me as the most distinguished of all the employees. Of course, Akane is really the most important person here, But apparently I get to be Mr. Manager for managing the finances.
とちゃう番頭さん外国の人の番頭さんってどこ行っても珍しいやろし、これでうちもますます有名になると思うわ。
You're using me as an attractive point. Huh. At some point, Akane has appeared by my side, smiling mischievously. Akane, that's true, but Asahia has become well known as that traditional Japanese restaurant with a foreigner working there, and is even set to appear on a TV show. Today is a day of filming for the show, so we're even busier than usual.
うちの店のピンチを救ってくれはったんやし、正義の番頭さんやな。
He finally got a job, yes, at Asahia no less. So yeah, it's good news. Akane is talking about the time when Asahia was at risk of being bought out for the land. You're exaggerating. It wasn't just down to me. It's good to see that thing is already a thing in the past.
君もすっかり日本の謙虚さが身についたみたいや。
お二人とも朝から仲がええのはええんですけど、そろそろ準備に戻ってもらえまへんか？取材が来た。
あ、ほんまや。
Oh,
こんな時間、そろそろ開店やで。
okay. I accidentally pressed a button. At the staff member's warning, Akane looks to the clock and lets out a cry. Thinking that I can't be that good a manager if I still need to be cautioned by my employees, I open the front door to hang out the sign. There isn't a single cloud marring the clear blue sky, and I squint my eyes against the bright sunlight as I gaze up at it. I can hear the chirping of cicadas, and it takes me back to when I first arrived in Japan. Now that I think about it, the cicadas were crying when Now that I think about it, the cicadas were crying when I first arrived here too. I hang out the shop sign while thinking back on when I had touched down in Kyoto for the very first time. Back then, my mother had practically forced me off to Japan. I guess I should write to my mom once in a while. You haven't, huh?
なあ、こっち手伝ってや。
I hear Akane calling to me from inside the restaurant. Phew. Okay, I'll do my best again today. I take a deep breath, then head back inside the restaurant. Ooh, ending! Was that the perfect ending, huh? Was that the perfect ending? Designer, planner, programmer. Oh, they have 4 programmers. Techno, 31 Inc. I like the song, the ending song here. This visual novel is really has a high production value. Like they have opening song, they have ending song, they even have voice actors. It's really great, huh? Wind's Promise. Happier ending than Madoka 1. Yeah, I'm sure that's because we don't get the perfect ending for Madoka, which is a shame. Thank you for playing. Yeah. That has to be the perfect ending. There's no better ending than that. For my next visual novel, maybe I'll play another game. I'm not sure what, but I think I have several of them. I haven't installed yet. So maybe I'm gonna try those. One of those, I mean. And since my throat has been really sore from talking a lot, like how many times? Huh? How many long? More than 2 hours, huh? Almost 2 hours and a half. I think I'm gonna end the stream now before I kill my own throat. So, thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for commenting and accompanying me this far. And I'm gonna end the stream. Oh, if you wanna follow my Twitter, there's a link in the description, and I post my schedules on Twitter too. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get enough subscribers to get a community feature, but that's not it. That's not happening right now. So my schedules are on Twitter. So that's it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy what you watch. I'll see you next time. Mata ne.